Would you stay till the morning light, or would you follow me, or would you let it be? If
Are you meant to be sleeping?
We could do this right.
Are you meant to be asleep?
We'll find the remedy. Or would you stay with me?
Are you meant to be
till the
sleeping?
morning light? For you
Are we gonna go pick up your cousin in a little bit?
I just want you to know that I didn't throw your stuff away. Before you make up your mind that I'm nowhere to find, I'm standing right here.
Good morning, everyone. It is 9:35 on Saturday the 17th of May, and we're obviously in the bathroom just getting ready for the day. We've got something very, very exciting on today. We are going for our first ever horse ride. I actually wanted to start horse riding last winter, but for reasons I have no idea what they were, I didn't get into it last year. But Bella's been on my case about it because she wants to start horse riding lessons, and I thought, you know what, let's just organize something. I finally reached out to the horse riding schools in Canberra and found out that even though we are beginners, we are able to participate in the trail rides at this one particular school, which is very, very exciting. So that's what we're going to do today. Bella isn't allowed to screen before 9 a.m. On the weekends. So she actually spent the morning playing with her horse, and her she's got our generation horse, and she's also got the horse trailer, which both are huge and take up way too much space in this tiny house, but she absolutely loves them, and she pulled them out this morning to play with because she is so excited about the trail ride today. But it's been a few weeks since I've vlogged. I actually have been vlogging, or attempting to, and the weekends always start off strong, and then by the end of the weekend I've just completely forgotten about it, and it seems odd to just kind of like have all this footage from the weekend, or have some footage from the weekend, and then just on a Monday morning kind of abruptly end the vlog. So I've picked up the camera again today, and we are going to try and actually do a full vlog this weekend. There's been a few reasons for why I've skipped some weekends. We've just either had nothing on, or if you follow me on Instagram, you would have seen that my sister had to put her dog to sleep. Gosh, it was a week ago now. And that obviously last weekend kind of threw us for a loop. She was my sister's dog, but we kind of considered her the family dog. And so we were all very emotional about it. And I spent last Thursday and Friday, because Thursday we got the news that she would be put to sleep on the Friday, and so I spent Thursday crying. I spent Friday crying, and kind of started to pull myself together, I guess, on the Saturday. But she had to be put down because she had a brain tumor, which she was an old dog. So I guess, you know, illnesses and things like that are to be expected. But she went downhill very quickly. So she started having seizures on Easter weekend. So it was Easter Saturday weekend. She had her first seizure. She had a second seizure on Easter Sunday in the afternoon as well. Got rushed to the emergency vet. The emergency vet kind of flagged that it could be a brain tumor, but they had to wait until they went to their regular vet during that week to confirm. So that's kind of what happened. She was put on anti-seizure medication, which for a few days seemed to kind of bring back old Suki again. She was I should explain this better, but following her first seizure on Easter Saturday, she was very, I guess, out of it, maybe is the right term. She just kind of didn't really bounce back in terms of energy and personality. And so when we went to my sister's on Easter Sunday for breakfast, she was interactive and all of that kind of thing, but you could tell she felt very sorry for herself, which, I mean, rightly so. And anyway, she, again, when it happened on Sunday, it obviously threw her again. And it wasn't until she was put on the anti-seizure medication that she kind of bounced back and got her energy and, you know, was happy and playing and all of that kind of thing. Which I guess gave us kind of false hope that perhaps, at least in my mind, I was like, well, maybe she's had this tumor for a while, and, you know, hopefully that just means that it's like slow growing. But we kind of got another couple of weeks out of her before it really started to take its toll, where she was just aimlessly doing laps around the house and walking into walls and not really being interactive, like not coming for pats and all of that kind of thing. And we had thought that perhaps it was the anti-seizure medication kind of like doping her up, which I think part of it may have been, but ultimately she was just, I guess the tumor was just too far gone, and you know, treatment wasn't an option, particularly considering she was nearly 10 years old anyway. But yeah, anyway, long story short, my sister, had to put her to sleep, and we've all been very heartbroken, but we are a lot better now. And my sister is a lot better. She obviously was the most heartbroken out of all of us. I mean, she's had that dog, like I said, for nearly 10 years, and they were two peas in a pod. So anyway, that was part of the reason why I haven't been vlogging as well. And then I think, like I said, there were a couple of weekends where there was nothing on. And in fact, one of those weekends, you know, I kind of spent, in fact, one of those weekends was spent binging TV with Ben, which I'm sure you can appreciate wouldn't have made for very interesting footage. But anyway, we are here now. We are getting ready. Like I said, it's now 9:45, which our trail ride is at 12, but we need to get there at about 11:30 to kind of do paperwork, and they're lending us riding boots and a riding helmet and all of that kind of thing, getting us, you know, ready for the trail ride. So I am going to get ready now. There's not much else to kind of update you on, otherwise I would keep the camera on and update you as I go, but I've kind of just given you a really, really quick and brief rundown. There's nothing else that's been going on that I need to update you on. So I'm gonna switch off the camera and actually get ready so that I don't run late today. Okay, we're just gonna ignore the unmade bed. I haven't had the chance to make it yet, but we're just pulling our outfit together for our ride today. Naturally, as this is my first ride, I don't have any actual horse riding gear yet. However, in true Jessica style, I have already started following countless accounts on Instagram gearing up for when, well, if and when I start getting more into the sport. And so I've got my favorites kind of tagged and ready to be purchased. But in order to get through today, we are just pulling random things that we've got in our closet. So it is a bit chilly today. And I'm someone who naturally runs cold. This does need an iron, so just ignore it because I did just pull it from the wash. But I've got my long sleeve top just from Cotton On, which I've definitely shown you the t-shirt before, but this is the long sleeve version. I wear it in a size small. I also pulled some socks that are a little bit thicker just because obviously I'm going to be borrowing boots. I don't know how comfortable or warm they are, so I wanted to go for thicker socks today. Then I've got my Country Road, which is a bit topsy-turvy because I was wearing it yesterday as well. but it is my quarter zip grey marl jumper from Country Road, which I know that they still do this style. I don't know if they have the same colours as when I bought this because these are a few months old. I wear this one. This one is a little bit bigger, so it's the small. My blue one that I have is an extra small, which I find fits me just that little bit better. And then I've got, which I feel like maybe you've all seen it before. Actually, yes, I would have definitely worn this on my vlogs before. It's a quilted jacket from And Other Stories. They are definitely sold out of this one because when I bought it, I think it was limited on sizes, but And Other Stories is such a good brand if you've never purchased from them. They are really high quality with a low price point, which I really enjoy. And if you're in Australia, the best places to get this brand is from The Iconic and also ASOS. I'm not sure if they have their own website. I've not shopped on it before, and whether they ship to Australia, so I can't comment on that. Next, I've just got one of my high impact, not that I expect to be doing anything high impact on the horse today, but sports bras from Lorna Jane, which actually I have just realized I pulled a black one out and I've got a white top, so I'm going to have to switch this one over to the white version. And then I've got these Ponte leggings, which I bought last winter. They were just from The Iconic. They're just Atmos, and here I don't actually know how to say this brand. It's so ridiculous. I dislike it so much. But I'm wearing these. Like I said, I bought them last winter. They are actually really well made, again, considering the low price point of this brand. And I thought that they would be perfect today as well because not that I expect anything to happen to my clothes, but I appreciate that if these were to be ruined for any reason, I would not be too precious about it. So that's what I'm going to be wearing today. Okay, and here is the outfit on. I have to say these leggings are a little bit loose, which will probably drive me insane. I've already had to pull them up as I'm getting dressed, but that's okay, we will deal. And also, as I said, I probably don't need this jacket, but I just want to bring it with me just in case. I don't know what the wind is going to be like where we are. And I've also just got my socks on. And then I'll probably just wear sneakers to the stables, which is a little bit dorky, but as I said, they're going to lend us riding boots. How excited are you?
1,000% excited.
1,000% excited. Are you going to get scared?
I don't know.
You don't know?
I didn't get scared when I saw the other horses. And they were big.
Yeah, that's true. But you didn't go on the other horses. Sunday evening and we've got a roast cooking in the oven and we've got Legally Blonde on the TV. We've had a very relaxed Sunday. We woke up, had a massive breakfast, and then Ben went home and Bella and I went grocery shopping and then spent the afternoon watching Practical Magic and now Legally Blonde. But I also received a delivery today from Amazon, so I thought I would share it with you just because this is the second one of this item that I have ordered because I found the first item so useful. So I thought I would open it with you and just show you what I bought. I ordered these acrylic drawers that sit in my bathroom. I ordered the first lot, so it comes in a set of 3. The first lot I ordered it must have been about a month ago now, and I ordered it with the intention of keeping all of my travel sized samples in there. And I liked it so much that I started adding just other bits and pieces to the drawers, and now they're all full. But OCD me likes to have a drawer for each type of product, and I don't have that currently, so I needed to order more. So these are what they look like. They're stackable as well, so they have the kind of case around it. You've got the drawer, which sits inside, and it has 2 little bits. I don't know if the camera's going to pick it up. There we go. So these 2 bits of acrylic are in it, so that when you pull out the drawer, it doesn't just slide all the way out, which I love. And then what also comes is an insert so that you can section off the drawers if you like. So let me just put that in. And then obviously that section can be moved around depending on how big the products are and all of that kind of thing. But as I said, it comes in a set of 3. So I already have 3 in my cupboard, which I'll show you in a little bit. But they're all identical as well. It just helps keep your bathroom cabinet, which mine is just a medicine cabinet, so that's how kind of shallow they are. It just helps keep everything really nice and tidy. Okay, we aren't completely done yet, but I've got to run down and finish going with dinner. But I have made some progress. So I did rearrange some of the drawers that I already had, and I'm going to switch the order of things as well, just because I am that type of person. But so far we've got this drawer here, which is like body treatment things. So we've got a body wash and body oil. We've got a hand cream sitting in here. I've got more to add to that. Here I'm thinking of putting my sort of travel sized perfumes and that. Here we've got face moisturizers, we've got primers, we've got cleansers, we've got serums and face oils, we have face masks. Then over here we've got tampons and liners, and here we've got my sort of pimple treatment goodies, contact lenses, and I'm not quite sure what else will go in here, but we've got the gua sha at the moment. But that's as far as we've gotten so far. As I said, I really love these little drawers. They just make me so happy and keep everything so neat, especially with these little samples, because they do have the tendency to kind of clutter and make a big mess of my shelves. So I like that they're neatly put away.
Just listen, I miss you. And I know that I said all these things, but now when you're with her, I can see that you miss me. Just stay till the morning light. Or would you follow?
Good afternoon, everyone. It is 12 on Saturday, the 24th of May, and I've switched on the camera because I need to wrap up last week's vlog. I completely neglected it again with the week that had passed. My intention was to kind of have Bella come on camera with me and just talk about how we went with our trail ride and all of that kind of thing. But the week kind of got away from me. Today got away from me, so I ended up having her an extra night this week. And like I said, this morning kind of got away from me. We went to a different horse riding school this morning to kind of take a look around and talk to the management there. So we went on our trail ride obviously last Saturday, which you would have seen, although I didn't get any footage on the horse because one, it was my first ever ride. So whilst I did for part of the ride just kind of have one hand holding onto the saddle, I wasn't confident enough to get my camera out. But 2, even if I was confident enough, they gave us explicit instructions at the start to not go on your phone, because if you drop your phone, it means that the instructor has to get down from the horse, and they're just not interested in having to do that for everyone. So I didn't get any footage on there, but the trail ride that we went on last week was at Forest Riding School, which is on Mount Stromlo. But where we went this morning is Gorman Park, I think that's how you say it, which is actually near the Nick O'Leary winery. So it's sort of that area just outside of Canberra. The reason why we had to go to another riding school today wasn't because we were unhappy with Forest. It was because Forest is completely booked out for beginner lessons, and the only way that we would be able to kind of start sooner rather than later with Forest is if we did a few more trail rides and got our experience up that way, and then we could kind of skip the beginner classes and go to intermediate. But that's just, I don't like that for consistency purposes, so we thought we would try other schools as well. So next weekend we are going to the Canberra Equestrian Centre, and we're going to have a look around there, and then from there we'll kind of work out where we want to learn to ride. So Gorman was amazing, and the lady that we spoke to today was so lovely, and so they are potentially where we end up, but I'm not quite sure just yet. I do want to go to Canberra Equestrian as well and have a look around there. So yeah, like I said, I had Bella an extra night. We had a slow start to the morning as usual. Ben and I didn't wake up. Well, I woke up I think before 8, but didn't get out of bed. And then Ben woke up properly at about 8:45, and that's when we kind of got up and moved about the house. But it was a bit of a slower start. So, and then all of a sudden we were late, as always. That's just the story of my life. Anyway, Bella has now gone to her dad's for his week. And like I said, I just wanted to hop on here and wrap up this vlog, even though it's probably pretty rubbish. I wanted to finish this vlog showing you one thing that I did buy last week. So I've been in a bit of a rut with my wardrobe. Well, I say I've been in a bit of a rut. The rut is caused by the fact that I have been kind of putting my money into other things other than my wardrobe. So maybe I should segue here actually. So I've reinstated my blog. So back in the day, I used to have a blog and I used to post on there pretty regularly, and I actually had quite a number of subscribers. Don't get me wrong, I was nowhere near like professional blogger status, but I had quite a number of people that were subscribed and would actually sign up to my emails and things like that. My newsletters rather. But then I kind of stopped doing that and I focused more on Instagram, and then all of a sudden I just stopped like doing social media at all. But I'm finding that there's some topics that I don't think fit on my vlog or would take up way too much time and would end up being like the topic of discussion for the whole video, and I can appreciate that's not for everyone. So I want to start my blog again to focus on the things that I don't want to spend too much time talking about on here. And so I've got a post that I'm kind of in the final stages of editing, but I'm not quite sure if I've taken the direction I want with it. But suffice to say, the blog post is about how I manage my finances. And so I'll go into a little bit more detail about why I haven't been putting money toward my wardrobe for actually pretty much for the entirety of this year. Like, I know I've been buying stuff and I show you things quite often, but I've actually cut back so much. And the reason for that is because I have quite a number of goals that I want to achieve this year. and of course they all take money. And so my number one goal, as an example, was to pay off my student loan debt, which I did by my birthday, which was in February. So that was my birthday present to myself, but it was quite a large sum of money, and I basically couldn't afford to hit that goal as well as spend the way that I normally do. So we're kind of coming out of a bit of a goal focused period, I guess. And so I will start to kind of have a bit more fun with my money in the next few months. But what it has meant is my wardrobe has been extremely neglected, and it's at the point where I'm kind of wearing the same outfits time and time again because I don't have anything else, and I've kind of cornered myself in a way with some of my clothes, in that you know, the shoes that I have, as this is just an example, but the shoes that I own are kind of limited to different, like the different pant lengths that I already owned when I bought those shoes, if that makes any sense at all. But because I bought things like my longer jeans, black jeans recently, I found they were kind of a weird length for the shoes, for most of the shoes that I owned. So I wasn't able to really pick my new jeans to wear unless I wore it with a specific pair of shoes, etc., and like just pigeonholed myself completely. So I have been kind of this week buying a few more pieces that will help me utilize everything that's in my wardrobe. Anyway, so what my focus was this week was to buy a couple more pairs of shoes. Again, that's why that example is obviously at the top of my mind. And so I bought, actually, I would say like 2 pairs of shoes, but one pair I bought in 2 different sizes. Because I'm a 7.5 in shoes, it makes it really difficult because a lot of brands don't do half sizes, which is honestly so annoying and makes it so difficult, because that half size, like that half difference, makes so much difference in how comfortable my shoes are. Anyway, the problem though with the second pair of shoes, second/third, that were the 2 sizes that I ordered because I bought them online, the size that fits, they actually were a bit faulty. So I've got to return those, and I've had to reorder that size again. So I'm waiting for that to be delivered. So I'm not going to show you those, but I am going to show you the ones that I'm keeping, which I went in person and bought. So it's just a pair of boots from Joe Mercer. I really liked these. I had a pair of heeled black boots that I had for quite a number of years from, I think it was either Daisy or Spur. It's one of the iconic, like more affordable brands. And honestly, those shoes lasted me, like I said, for years, but the toe had started to become quite scuffed, and because they were more affordable, they weren't real leather, so you can't really like do anything to fix them. Anyway, so I got rid of those. They were also, again, with the problem with the half sizing, they were also just that little bit big, which meant my feet kind of like slid about in them, which was a little bit annoying. And anyway, so I finally got rid of them, and I finally got rid of them at the end of last winter with the intention that that would force me to buy new shoes, new pointed boots this winter. Anyway, obviously it did, and so I bought a pair of black boots from Joe Mercer. I've not really been a fan of Joe Mercer's shoes, if I'm honest. Them and Whitner, I feel like this is going to sound really weird, but I'm going to say it anyway. I find that they are quite conservative shoe brands, which, again, I'm aware how weird that sounds, but I find like their high heels aren't quite high enough. I find that their shoes just aren't really that sexy, if I'm completely honest. That's what I think I mean by conservative. And so I always kind of go in hoping to find something, but I never do, until I found these boots because they are quite high, but they're not so high that they're uncomfortable, and I can wear them sort of quite easily and move quite fast around in them, which I'm sure any girls that wear high-heeled shoes can appreciate when your speed is not affected by your shoes. But yeah, I really like these. They are the softest leather. I was wearing them, I wore them out to dinner last night, which will be included in next week's vlog, because I like to start that on the Friday. But they were really, really comfortable and really nice and warm, and I loved the fact that I had bought these because it had been raining the past couple of days, and a lot of rain, so it was quite nice to have my feet nice and dry and still look presentable for a dinner out. But yeah, I really like these. So these are the Jemima in the black leather, and these are a 38, and I wore them obviously with socks on last night, and I'm saying this for the 7.5 or half size girlies. I wore them with socks last night, obviously because they're boots, but to keep my feet warm. And even though they're technically half a size too small, because I would rather a 38.5, but I was really comfortable, and I think the fact that they're a quite supple leather, they will kind of stretch. Again, when I went to the store, I did try on the 39 and it was just too big. And I knew, because you know how you have like the shoes that are on display that everyone kind of tries on, and then they get you the other half, which is the box. I could feel the difference between the shoe that everyone had kind of tried on versus the one that was like fresh, and they definitely do stretch as well. So that's why I went the 38. But yeah, I really love these, and they're a good addition to my wardrobe, and I wore them with my new black jeans as well, and I found like the length was quite good. I probably wouldn't go for jeans that are kind of like maybe above the ankle. I think that would look a little bit strange, but because these jeans are sort of just below my ankle, they sit really nicely on there, and I quite liked it. Anyway, that was all I wanted to talk about to wrap up this vlog, and I'm going to switch you off and I'm going to start this week's vlog properly and hopefully not be so delayed with it. Thank you so much for watching. I promise to be better with getting these videos out from now on, but until next time.